this is about as snowy as it gets in Greater Manchester, but it's something. Not much though. Hello everyone and welcome back to Great British Bells. As you can clearly hear, the narration is back. I am well again from my cold, so that's great. Anyways, let's get on with the matter at hand, which is St. Matthew's of Hayfield. Now, I did forget to do an intro for this video, which I very much apologise for. My memory has been all over the place this past week. Might be an after result of the cold, I don't know. But, yeah, today we're doing St. Matthew's of Hayfield. Now, the church bell details I've already explained in a recording, so I don't need to go over that. But the one thing that I didn't record myself saying was the notes that I took, so I will get those and I'll be back in a moment. So I have the piece of paper with my notes on. Some of the facts that I put on this sheet have already been mentioned, such as the John Taylor & Co. bell overhauls of 1909 and 1947, but apart from that, I'm pretty sure everything on this sheet hasn't been mentioned yet. So without further ado, let's get on to it. First of all, this church does have an Elocume apparatus. I think I'm saying that right. If not, please correct me. Feel free to. So, it has an Elocume apparatus, which you will see, well, not see, sorry, you will hear later on in the video. It's grade 2 listed, and I think the river next to it, the River Set, actually flooded in 1978, and the description from someone, I can't remember who it was, but the description reads, Hayfield Church was all torn up, and the dead bodies swept out of their graves. When the flood abated, they were found in many places. Some were hanging on trees, others left in meadows or grounds, some partly eaten by dogs, or wanting or wanting one or more of their members. There's also the ghost story from Dr. James Clegg, which I have up now. It was Dr. James Clegg, the minister of a Presbyterian church at nearby Chapel in Frith, wrote to the Glossopdale Chronicle reporting that hundreds of bodies rose out of the grave in the open air and singing in concert from the graveyard of St Matthew's Church. They then proceeded to disappear, leaving Dr. Clegg to remark, "What has become of them, in what distant region of this vast system have they since fixed their residence? No mortal can tell." That's very difficult to read. It's just come across to me. In 1793, the tower was rebuilt into its current form, which then had 6 bells to it. A seventh was added in in the overhaul of 1909, and an 8th in the overhaul of 1947, and the rest of it was rebuilt to its current form in 1818 at a cost of, back then, £2,458. Now, due to inflation, that'll probably be what, £1 million? I don't know, but it'll be a lot more expensive nowadays to do that than it was back then, due to inflation. The tower was raised in 1894 to place a new clock with 4 dials and to chime the hour and quarters, and it was funded entirely by members of the Slack and Bennett families, costing nothing to the church. So that's the fact file sheet that I had. Now it's very crumpled. It's been in my pocket for half the day, but now I can finally put that away into the Great British Bells archive. Well, if I had one, and actually get on with showing you all the chimes. That's the end of the narration. Thank you very much for listening. See Ellacombe.
What?
Ellacombe.
What's in that device?
Shush. That's the Ellacombe, that. I'm sure that was... I'm sure that's the Ellacombe. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong.
Wait, is it that device?
Yeah. There you go. That's the Ellacombe. I know that much. Here we go again, round 2. Apologies if the video's all shaky. I've just checked the weather and it's 1 degrees Celsius. So my hands are very cold, but I'm trying my best to capture this for you all, so that's why it's shaky at times, because it's 1 degrees and I'm freezing to death practically. I haven't got any gloves on because I forgot them. Well done me. Look how red my hands are. So cold. Why did it just do the hour? It just did the hour chime. Who is on the Helicum? Because they are a genius. They are amazing. Look at the clock. It's not even the hour chime yet. The hour chime went off because of the Helicum. Oh, that was funny. I like that. So there are some quite old bells here. I know John Taylor & Co. overhauled them in 1909 and 1947. That's the quarter gone. The reason I'm not presenting for this video is because it is bitterly cold. Like, it's snowed here. It's in the minuses. And I have to dress up warm. And if I dress up warm, that sacrifices the suit, because the suit isn't the best for cold weather. And I don't really have any formal clothes for cold weather. So, I think the next presentation will be next year, I think. Unless it's a special occasion. So the bells here, there are 8 of them in the key of E flat major. They were cast in, the treble was cast in 1947 as part of the John Taylor & Co. overhaul in the same year. The tenor was also cast in 1947. Also as part of the overhaul that took place that year. The second was cast in 1909 by the first overhaul by John Taylor & Co. And bells 3 to 7 were cast in 1793. Now the treble, the second and the tenor were all cast by John Taylor & Co. and 3 to 7 were cast by John Ruddall. The chime variation here is a Westminster, and the tenor weighs 10 hundredweights, 2 pounds 2 quarters, or 10 hundredweights 2 quarters, 2 pounds, which is also 543 kilograms, so pretty weighty. So it's been a delightful experience at St Matthew's Church of Hayfield, but unfortunately this episode of this week has come to an end. So until next week, I'm Great British Bells. I'll see you then. Bye bye.